Ninja just launched a new pressure cooker, the HyperHeat, and they're calling it their best one yet. I've been using this instant pot for pressure cooking and this crock pot for slow cooking for years now, so I was curious. Can this one product replace both of those? So today I'm testing 4 functions to see how it actually performs. But first, what does it come with straight out of the box? Well, it of course comes with the pressure cooker itself, and of course a pressure cooking pot that just sits on the inside there, and that's all the pieces that it comes with. It's pretty simple to use, and I love how heavy the lid and the gadget feel in terms of quality of the product. And then from there, you basically just use this screen, spin the dial to whatever you want to cook, set the time and temperature if you want to, and start cooking. So let's put it through the simplest test first. We're just gonna make rice. And apparently this is as simple as taking off the lid, pouring in water, and it recommends 1 cup of water for 1 cup of rice since I'm using basmati rice. So I'll just follow its recommendations. The lid goes right back on top and locks into place. And then you gotta make sure the steam vent is in the seal position here so that pressure builds inside. Switch the dial over to the rice setting, and then it recommends 6 minutes for this rice, which would be insanely fast, but let's give it a shot and click that start button. Now it's going to build up steam for a little bit. I'll let you know how long that takes and we'll check on it along the way. It just finished with the preheating slash building up pressure inside of there, and it's been about 5 minutes so far, so not too bad, but obviously we're not gonna have rice in 6 minutes like the product claims. However, if it's done in 6 minutes, maybe it'll be 11 total. Let's find out. The 6-minute timer has just ended. It is now keeping our rice warm. I'm going to twist this to the vent position to start letting out steam. And once that finishes, it should let me open the lid and we can take a look at the rice in just a few seconds here. There we go. I don't hear anything else. Let's twist it open and take a look. Oh, steamy. On first look, the rice is looking good. I see individual grains. It's looking pretty fluffy. Let's do a quick taste test of it. Is it as good as my $300 rice cooker? Probably not, but it's pretty dang comparable and really well made rice in 11 minutes. My rice cooker takes like 45, so this is a win. Next up, we're gonna make the test just a little bit harder, and we're gonna make pasta without the need to boil water ahead of time, and it's gonna be fully cooked in its sauce by the time it's done. Now, their recipe book calls for an entire 16-ounce box of pasta, a 32-ounce jar of this tomato basil sauce, and then another 2 cups of water and a tablespoon of oil. I'll give it just a super quick mix here so it's evenly distributed throughout, although I'm not too sure if I need to since it's pressure cooking it anyways. One of the other cool things is that there's actually measuring labels on the back as well, so you wouldn't even need measuring cups to get the right quantities. Now let's get our lid twisted on, switch it over to the pasta setting, and you can't even choose the time or the temperature for this. They choose it all for you, so let's get it started. And once again, it's preheating, then it will cook. I'll let you know the times of each when the recipe ends up finishing. And by the way, one thing to note, the rice and pasta are the only 2 things that are actually pressure cooking inside of this. The rest is using its slow cooker functions, which we'll get to next. After about 10 or 11 minutes, the preheating on this ended up turning off. Now, I thought it still had to cook afterwards, but then I realized that that's actually the end of it. You're then supposed to wait about 10 minutes before you release it, which I've now done, so let's take a look. I'm going to release the vent just like last time, and after about a minute of releasing that pressure, we can now take a first look. Oh my God, it looks so good in there. I'll give it a quick stir here before a taste test, but it is smelling just amazing. So much steam is coming out of there as well. Let's give this a taste. It's got so much flavor, and it's somehow a perfect al dente. I honestly can't believe it. I feel like it usually takes about 11 minutes just to boil water, and this made the full pasta dish in 11 minutes. So we're off to a hot start here. Next up, I'm gonna make tacos, and we're gonna do everything from searing our ingredients to slow cooking it for the next 4 hours to see how delicious they can turn out with just this one gadget. So I'll turn this to sear slash saute to start. I'm gonna get our ground beef in first. Ooh, and there's an instant sizzle, which is always good. And I'm gonna brown our ground beef first to get some flavor out of it. Usually when I do this in a pan, it takes about 4 to 5 minutes, so I'll see how that compares. About 1 minute in, we're already starting to see some browning, so it's looking pretty good timing-wise compared to a pan. I'm curious to see if it's just as fast. And now we are about 6 minutes into sauteing here, and I think we're in pretty good shape to move forward with the next step. It did take about a minute or two longer than my stovetop, but next up I'm adding in some onions and bell peppers and just a bunch of seasonings. Garlic powder, cumin, paprika, chili powder, oregano, and salt, of course. And I'll continue to stir this up now for the next couple minutes to get those vegetables nice and soft. And this is where it gets a little bit more interesting. Usually I would now take my pan of sauteed ingredients and throw it into a slow cooker and then add more ingredients to it before I slow cook it for 4 hours. But since this gadget is already both, we're just gonna add water and tomato sauce right into there. So it's just half a cup of water that goes in and 1 cup of tomato sauce. And I'll give that a quick mix. Switch the dial to slow cook. And this recipe cooks on low for about 6 to 8 hours. So I'll switch it to low. I'll set it to about 7 hours here. Throw the lid back on so that it can obviously slow cook. And let's kick it off. Now, I've made this recipe a couple dozen times over the last few years, so I'm gonna know exactly how it tastes compared to my crock pot, and in 7 hours, I'll give you guys the update. It is now 7 hours later, the food is ready and smelling amazing. Let's go take a look at our dinner. Here is a first look at it. Of course, tons of steam coming out of there. And it's looking pretty good. Give it a little bit of a mix here. Oh yeah, all that liquid is gone and absorbed into the meat. And there's a good close-up shot of what it looks like. But is it as good as when I make it in the crock pot? Let's find out. Whoa, hold on a minute. It might be better. It's very good and the flavors have amplified a little bit more than when I make it in the crock pot for some reason. Maybe it's the smaller container or the material of the Ninja, I'm not sure, but it tastes very, very good and came out pretty much perfect. So through the 4 functions we tested, I have no reason not to recommend the HyperHeat. It replaces my Instant Pot, it replaces my crock pot, and honestly, it replaces my rice cooker as well. It does have a few more functions in yogurt, steam, and sous vide, and if you want to see me test out those last 3 functions, let me know down in the comments. And in the meantime, if you want to see more Ninja products I've reviewed, they're all in this playlist right here.